we deem that the most effective best practice criteria is security of tenure and independent follow-up. Security of tenure involves the acquiring of legally securing offset sites for conservational purposes prior to works commencing. This is supported by BBOP's standard of biodiversity offsets, which recommend that legal and financial mechanisms for the long-term permanency of the offset are in place prior to the commencement of the project. Samuel reviewed and found that there is no clarity in whether offsets are not threatened by future development under national legislation.
Biodiversity offsets require long-term management and care to ensure their permanency. This becomes an issue of best practice when the proponent may not be fulfilling their obligations set out within the recommendations provided by the impact assessment. We suggest that best practice would be the establishment of an independent body to monitor and follow up with offsets to ensure these conditions were met. This method is utilised worldwide, such as the Mackenzie gas project proposal in Canada that found follow-up wasn't occurring in other projects and would be a considerable risk if not managed. Samuel suggested that independent follow-up within Australia would be beneficial due to a record of poor compliance in the country to provide enforcement and insurance.
As the impact of the highway was long-term, the offsets needed to be secured permanently in order to endure beyond the impact of the development. As the primary direct offset on Iopolo Road was of vegetation in the same or better condition than the land being cleared, it was serving as an offset not through restoring habitat, but through improved security of tenure through land acquisition. It was a condition of the ministerial statement that the land identified was acquired before the development commenced and was vested to the government for conservational purposes, which follows what we believe is best practice EIA. The offsets required for the remaining residual impacts were either through management of land that was already secured as nature reserves or bush further sites, or through offsets that were not required under the conditions to be identified or acquired prior to development commencing, which was not best practice EIA.
Issues such as the lack of consistency for securing land tenure and no independent follow-up reflect a flawed system that prevents best practice ensuring permanency of biodiversity offsets. This is reflected within the impact assessment for the Perth-Darwin highway, which could potentially cause issues with maintaining offsets in the future.